Bioregulators, the dawn or rebirth of a new age in healthcare and regeneration? Harnessing the power of bioregulators, unveiling Russian research discoveries. By Maximus MacLeod, D.O., N.D., Ph.D., also known as the Nutrition Ninja Doc. Executive Summary. Over 50 years of Russian military medical research has identified, tested, and proven the many physiological benefits of specific, small peptides. These are only 2 to 4 amino acids in length. These small peptides increase protein synthesis, thereby stimulating regeneration of related target organs. They increase telomere length, which is associated with increased longevity. They increase the metabolic reserve of the target gland or organ. They reduce all-cause morbidity and mortality. For example, during a 12-year study, the 60 to 74-year-old participants taking bioregulators had half the mortality, in other words, half the death rate from all causes, of the control group. That means that twice as many of the participants taking the bioregulators were still alive after 12 years versus those not taking them. In the 75 to 89-year-old group, those taking bioregulators had a survival rate of 67% versus just 18% for the control group. That means that 2.5 times more of those on bioregulators were still alive after 12 years than those not on them. These small peptides have been isolated from glandular tissues. They have also been synthesized in the laboratory. These small peptides are called bioregulators. They have been shown to interact in a complementary way with specific sites on DNA, causing the partial uncoiling of the DNA, called chromatin decondensation, thereby stimulating a cascade of reparative reactions. Once the DNA uncoils, the peptides attach to specific sites on the DNA, which leads to changes in gene conformation and expression. In other words, it alters their shape and function. This, in turn, leads to the activation or turning on of, or deactivation or turning off, of specific genes. The main role of genes is to serve as blueprints for the production of all the proteins the cell needs for repair and adaptation. This activation or deactivation, in turn, leads to increased production of specific proteins. These proteins stimulate increased cellular repair and regeneration via proliferation and differentiation. Ultimately, this all leads to enhanced regulation and regeneration of biochemical and physiological processes that make up that gland or organ, ultimately helping the gland or organ to regenerate. As a gland or organ regenerates, its function improves, as well as its metabolic reserve. Putting all of this together, when a gland or organ works better, the organism as a whole begins to work better. This, in turn, leads to a reduction in damage and degeneration along with an increase in health and longevity. The science supporting all of this is very straightforward. Go to ARTC.health or mybodysymphony.com to learn more about our bioregulator programs and to download the complete ebook on bioregulators.